My first encounter with wingsuits took place somewhere in like 99. Way back then, I had a Finnish friend, Jari Kuosma. He was this guy. Him and Robert Becknick created this the first wingsuit ever, like commercial wingsuit called the Birdman. So even some of the places, like we tried to go to a drop zone and fly our wingsuit, they didn't allow us because it was too dangerous. So that's kind of in my history, like, you know, we started to fly them just when they came out, and we actually went with Jari, like we drove across US from drop zone to drop zone and took people for wingsuit flights to show them and demonstrate it can be done safely. And then the evolution has been like amazing what's happened over the last like little bit more than 1 decade. We did the first base jumps, I think, in the year 2000 with wingsuits, which everyone thought we were being crazy and reckless, which we probably were, but in that the spirit of adventure, it actually grew up to be, you know, it's in a borderline right now of becoming a very legitimate real sport. So it's been a long journey, and the funny thing is it's just about to begin. In base jumping, wingsuit actually started to make it more safe, because the problem if you jump off a mountain, even if you're a good tracker, you're always going to be fairly close to the mountain or a building or wherever you're going to jump off. But a wingsuit, you can fly and you can like fly way out. So it actually started to increase the safety for a lot of the jumpers, and that's what they did for years, like bang, 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 jumping off mountains, flying as far as they could. And now, like only like 4 or 5 years ago, you know, Louis and some of the other guys started to do like proximity flying, like flying next to the mountains and kind of finding these like lines that they did. And when that came along, that was like explosion of popularity, like, I mean, and with the YouTube. So when someone saw that the YouTube, like, you know, that everyone went for it, and that's where we are right now. I'm a partner in a film financing company called Pan Pacific Entertainment. I'm one of the founding partners with my partner Frank Young, who's an amazing Chinese businessman, but also a long-time personal friend for over 20 years. It all actually started in year 2011, like when Jeb flew through this hole in the mountain at the Chinese mountain range that inspired the floating mountains of Avatar. So that was like big hit. And we got 500 million TV viewers in Greater China, and that was kind of the momentum. So okay, so you showed us something very special, like where do we go from here? And then rather than doing these one-off stunts, let's say me and Frank, my business partner, we started the conversation like, you know, let's just try to develop a sport. You know, from our perspective, like we don't have to go always like new locations and there's so many variables. Like we have a great location, we work really good with the government and the officials who are managing and different companies. So let's just do something that we can repeat here every year. And that's the birth of the World Wingsuit League.
In our age of advanced technology.
Then we realized like we are onto something. Like, I mean, it's not only our dream, it's something that a lot of people are sharing with us. Our company was financing films and like real Hollywood films and doing big projects, and we just kind of took a step back, like, you know, let's just put our attention and resources for this and make something brand new. Like it's not very often where you can go somewhere and or like kind of establish a movement from the ground up. You see it all the time, like, I mean, in commercials, movies and stuff, but it's still a limited group of people who are doing those like high visibility projects. But then at the same time, you see wingsuits everywhere. You go to any drop zone, there's people flying, and I've asked a lot of the manufacturers, like, how many wingsuits do you sell? Like, wingsuits do you sell a year? But they kind of, I know the numbers, but I promise not to tell. But it's getting big. We're talking about, like, you know, if you count all the skydivers and there's tens of thousands of wingsuits out there. So that's, and they keep, you know, every time there's a new model coming out, people keep buying, and then they sell their old version away, and it's, you know, the entire community is definitely growing. But we're still talking about niche sport. I mean, we're not talking about football here or anything, basketball or anything. We're talking about skydiving, a small sport, base jumping, really small sport, and then taking a wingsuit. So in that sense, it's, you know, we're never going to have the same sponsors as the skateboarders or the snowboarders. But what we have is, like, you know, we have these amazing people. It's not about what, you know, almost it's not what they do. It's not about the flight. You're gonna have to meet these guys more. Like, I mean, it's about the people. Like, I mean, I think it just came down to the simple fact, like, everyone knows what it feels like to dream about flying, and then there's these guys who are actually doing it and doing it really, really well.